First, we will go to the underside and unplug the servo. Once the servo is unplugged, we can go back topside and start to take apart the plastic stack. Using a number 2 Phillips, we can undo the front 2 screws that go into the door and the 2 screws that help retain the switch mount plastic for the spinning toy itself. With these off, we will want to lay the plastic with the switch back and out of the way, and we will want to make sure with the front plastic we keep the spacers with the screws and plastic. Now we have the toy available to access the servo plate mounting screws. We will want to use a right-angled number 2 Phillips to get at the underside, and then we can use the 5/16 nut driver to get the nuts off. With the disc off, we can now access the center set screw. Undo this with the number 2 Phillips, and we should now be able to remove the 4 screws that the servo is mounted to. We can pull these screws out and take the whole assembly out of the game and over to a bench. At the bench, we can undo each of the 4 nut and bolt combos that keep our servo attached to the metal plate. With these undone, we can then pull everything out and install the new servo. Note the orientation of the servo to the plate. This has to be copied or we will be out of whack once we reinstall. With the servo back on the plate, we will take it back over to the machine and reverse our steps. We will install the 4 screws that are holding the metal plate. Make sure to match up all of the correct spacers for each spot as well. Once this has been done, we can put the first disc back onto the servo and tighten the set screw in the center to hold that disc on. After that, we will put the toy back on, making sure the guy is facing forward and aligning the notches on the disc. Install the nut and bolt combo on the front and back. FYI, there is no proper servo set position as it will home itself off the switch once we are done. With the 2 bolts and nuts reinstalled, we can then go about getting the switch plastic back on. We will once again want to make sure we are reusing the 2 pre-existing holes in the 3D support pieces. With the switch plastic installed, we can then go to the front of the door and install the last plastic stack. Making sure we use the pre-existing holes once again, and using the spacers provided, we can screw the screws back in. Make sure not to over tighten the screws, as the mounting holes can be easily stripped out. We should now be able to go to the underside and plug the servo and switch back in, and then get back to playing.